So what I would like to transition into is actually, let's talk about how the site selection process is embedded within your teams. I think we talked a lot about, business plan with respect to being late in the cycle and, how do you generate yield. But at the end of the day, it comes to people. So JJ, why don't you start with that, and we'll take it from there.
Sure, we've definitely taken a different approach. I'd say just in the last 3 months, and the approach has really been you're trying to tie this back to teams, and I think that's important too. The approach is to really understand. I liken it. I'm a big football fan, so all the veterans are taken. Too expensive, you can't afford them. Now you're down to finding the next rookie, the next Ezekiel Elliott, the next up-and-comer, right? And I think that's kind of where we are right now, is we're looking for our teams to know where the hottest breakfast spots are in a sub-market. We've literally taken out maps, aerials, and we're outlining, 20 block radiuses inside a sub-market, and we're targeting those. We're targeting where's the next up and coming spot? Where's the great bar scene? We're not targeting necessarily anymore the big flashy scenes. And what I mean by flashy site is next to a football stadium, right? There's 8 games a year at that football stadium. We're looking really, where are the breakfast spots? Where are the bars? Where is all that? And tying it back to the team, we put our teams into basically categories, and geographic categories. So I have somebody that's a specialist in San Diego, right? They know all the hot spots, they hang out there. Same thing with LA, Orange County, and so on.
How about you, Perry? How do you guys basically attack the task from a team approach perspective?
That's confidential. No, I'm just kidding. Some of the same ideas as JJ. I think we, it's interesting. Just this whole topic. We could all spend probably an hour on this. On each question, right? But in terms of how we attack it, we rank submarkets, and then we go after specific submarkets with specific teams as well.
In the old days, it was a lot about forming long-term relationships with landowners. Is that still available out there?
We still do that. We still would categorize, and I know these guys do it as well. Basically, lining up owners over time and building relationships and reaching out to them. Either doing that or knowing the brokers that have done that in certain markets, and being, it's easier early cycle, because early cycle you're able to overpay and let the rent growth catch up. So I think the true test of talent comes out now, putting deals together at this point in the cycle.
Tim?
In the end analysis with your team, you're doing it with yourself and you're doing it with your team members. They all are local. They all understand the market. Nearly every one of them, you could say a location and they'll know it in their head. They'll know exactly what's around that intersection or what's about it. And so, and then the personal touch, making those phone calls. 580 Anton was a phone call in 2004. And it was again, somewhat elderly couple, but they were in their retirement ages. And she said, I said, I'm interested in buying your property. She said, well, how much do you think it's worth? And I said, well, I think it's worth more than you think it's worth. And that's how we started the relationship.